Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I cooked this dish with the intention in mind of what I want to achieve. And that is the foundation of my fast cooking system. And I think this is what makes home cooking, at least for me, is sustainable. Because every time I walk in the kitchen, I'm looking to cook something interesting and different. In this video, I'm going to show you how I cook this shrimp fried rice dish. Now, there are several things I already have in mind. I would like to have some shrimp in this dish, but I'm going to cook this shrimp differently this time as compared to what I have done in the past. And the second thing I really want in this fried rice is ginger. Actually, my wife loves ginger, and I become a fan of ginger because of her, and I particularly like it in a fried rice. So that is essential. The next is some shiitake mushroom. Now, in the case of shiitake mushroom, it is not, I would call it, the essential item for this fried rice, but I happen to have them available. These are dehydrated. I hydrate them, I cut them into thin slices. Now I chop them into small chunks to fit the fried rice. This is also, I would call it, something that I have on hand. I have some frozen vegetable mix. I always like frozen vegetable mix in a fried rice, but again, it is not essential. And the last but not the least is some chopped scallion. I always have chopped scallions on hand. Now, I don't use onion very much because onion takes time to cook. And scallion is great. You can use it as a garnish and to give you the onion flavor that I'm looking for. Now, I'm going to cook this fried rice dish in my Cuisinart 14-inch stainless steel wok. And this wok is my everyday wok for a simple reason because it is very light and it is very easily to be seasoned so that food will not stick to the surface of the wok. And I use my spot seasoning method, and you can take a look at this video to learn more about this method. Basically, I heat up the oil until it starts to smoke, and I let it smoke gently for 15 seconds before I start to cook. This will give the wok a non-stick cook surface. Now, as it will be demonstrated here with the eggs. Now, if your wok is not well seasoned, the egg will stick and burn. And in this case, you can see the egg will not stick and burn at all. Now, all fried rice contain eggs, but you can add the eggs in many different ways. And this is one way which I use from time to time. And I'm going to use 4 eggs because I'm going to make this fried rice as our main meal. So the egg will give me the protein that I'm looking for. Now, I fry this egg like I would do when I fry an egg sunny side up. And this actually is a great way to create interesting texture in the egg because as you can see, the egg yolk and egg white are fried slightly differently. So it gives the egg a little bit more texture rather than if you beat up the egg entirely. And for the lazy person like me, or I would say for the person who like efficiency, this is also a more efficient way. So I don't need to beat up the egg. Well, I have one less bowl to wash. So basically the idea is the same. You scramble the egg, in this case, except you scramble the egg as a whole egg. Now, as you can see that the wok is well seasoned because nothing stick and burn to the surface of the wok. If you are able to achieve this, you know you have seasoned your wok correctly. Okay, now the egg is almost done. And next step is for me to add the ginger. Now, I add the ginger slightly different this time. I add it earlier than I add it later because I want to see what is the difference in flavor in this case. And then I'm also going to add some of my basic seasoning mix. Basically, the basic seasoning mix is used to enhance the natural flavor of the food ingredients. And it worked really well with egg. And this is the reason I decided to add the basic seasoning mix at this point. I'm going to use about 2.5 cups of cooked rice. Now, the cooked rice is really essential because you want to have the rice been in the refrigerator for at least about 24 hours. If it is longer, it's no problem. Now, breaking up the rice could be a challenge. So I use this actually really a nifty tool for breaking up rice, although it's not designed originally for that. It is called a hamburger meat masher. Basically, it's used for breaking up hamburger meat when you say want to make a spaghetti sauce or make a chili. And it turned out to be perfect for this purpose. I decided I'm going to add a little bit more oil because if I don't have enough oil, then it's far more likely for the rice to burn to the surface of the wok. Now, some of you ask me, so what kind of heat level do you use in this cooking process? Now, of course, in the beginning, I have the heat set on high, but then when I break up the rice, I set the heat to medium because the rice are sitting at the bottom of the wok and I don't want things to get burned. Okay, next, I'm going to add the shiitake mushroom, and I also adding the shrimp together with the shiitake mushroom. Now, you notice that I add the shrimp as it is. In the past, I used to cut the shrimp into small pieces, or I will cook the shrimp in advance before I add it to the fried rice because I'm afraid that I don't have enough time to get the shrimp cooked. But in this case, I time it in such a way that I'm going to cook the fried rice long enough so that the shrimp will be properly cooked. I'm also use shrimp with shell. This is a jumbo shrimp with shell, and I like it with shell because it actually allows me to have better control of the texture of the shrimp. Okay, now I think I'm probably about maybe 4 or 5 minutes into cooking this dish, and I'm going to add the frozen vegetable mix. The frozen vegetable mix works really well with fried rice. It will add nice flavor and texture. Not a great deal, but enough that make it more interesting. So it is very convenient because I always have some frozen vegetable on hand. Another nice thing about this frozen vegetable mix is that it adds some nice color to the dish. As you can see, it makes the dish more interesting. So now my attention is focused on the shrimp. I want to make sure the shrimp is properly cooked. And now I turn the heat actually right at high. Now, when you have the heat at high, the important thing is that you need to stir the content at a rate so that it will not get burned. Of course, the higher the heat you have, the faster you need to stir it. In a professional restaurant and a professional kitchen, they actually, toss the food ingredients as I have shown in other previous video. But at home kitchen, you don't need to do that. Besides, you don't want to have things on the floor anyway. So I just will keep stirring. A wok spatula is absolutely essential, particularly for cooking fried rice. You notice that the wok spatula is excellent for turning the food over, like you would do with a shovel. And that's why in Chinese, this wok spatula in the Chinese word actually means wok shovel. As you notice that I always push the ingredients to the middle of the wok before I turn it. So this way, it will prevent you from spilling the ingredients onto the surface of your kitchen counter or on the floor. And you also notice that I use the wok spatula to scrape anything that might have stick to the bottom surface of the wok. But in this case, everything looks great. Nothing is sticking to the bottom of the wok. And by now, the dish is almost done. I did a taste test and I decided that I'm going to add some additional of my Wok with Tak basic seasoning mix. Now, I'm not going to use any other things to season this dish. I strongly encourage you to give this seasoning mix a try. You can make out yourself. You can look at one of my videos of all the ingredients in it. It really adds nice umami flavor to the dish. Now, one thing that people talk about the benefit of umami is that it makes the ingredient taste better. Most importantly is that it leaves a very pleasant aftertaste when you have umami flavor. And the seasoning mix is designed to enhance the natural flavor of the ingredients. So all the ingredients in this seasoning contribute to adding more umami flavor to the dish. The total cook time of this dish is about 10 minutes. It takes a bit longer because I want to make sure the shrimp is well cooked. So this is the part which I think is, to me, I really enjoy, is to make the dish look good. So I scoop out all the rice first and I leave the shrimp to be the last thing to scoop out. So this case, I can basically set it up. I only use 5 shrimps, and that usually both my wife and I each will have 2 shrimp because I use the shrimp more like a condiment, and then we will keep the rest, which I love leftover, so I will use it as a leftover. And then last but not least, I garnish the dish with some chopped scallion. Like I said, a scallion is really versatile. I will always have scallion on hand, and I will chop them, the green part and the white part, which is the bottom part of the scallion, I will cut them into strips and use it in a slightly different capacity. You probably have seen me use it in other video. So okay, this dish is very simple. Again, because this is a template, it really allows you to be very creative. And this is, I've never cooked a dish like this before, but I really like it. It turned out very well. And last but not the least, I garnish it a little bit with some oyster sauce, and not very much, but it will enhance the flavor of the dish. So okay, give this a try. Again, I want to suggest to you is that the importance is to stamp your creativity in what you cook. It doesn't matter, because you are cooking for yourself, and more you do it, the more you become attuned to what you like. So keep on cooking. I will see you tomorrow.